Hi everybody and happy holidays. Thanks for joining me, Dawn the Kitchen Witch from Cucina Aurora Kitchen Witchery. Today we're gonna bake. And you know I don't do a lot of baking, but when it's the holidays, you can't keep me away from baking. I tend to bake on a binge. So today we're gonna be making a traditional Pignoli cookie. So what is a Pignoli cookie? It's a traditional Italian cookie with an almond base. And if you have a gluten allergy like me, you're gonna be thrilled because this has no flour in it. It's almond paste, a little sugar, and some egg whites. They cook up real quick, put everything in the food processor, but today we're gonna make them a little bit different. When our Pignoli is done cooking, we're gonna fill them with chocolate cannoli cream. This is a recipe that was inspired by a little deli that I found out in New York, and I think I've put my own kitchen witch spin on it. To make these traditional Pignoli cookies, you will need 14 ounces almond paste, 1/2 cup fine sugar, organic sugar is recommended, 2 cups confectioner's sugar, and 2 egg whites, pine nuts as well. So really we're gonna take all of our ingredients and just toss them right in the food processor, slowly of course, so that they're properly blended. Remember, we always start in our food processor with our liquids first. So your egg white here counts as your liquid. And I'm gonna put about, to start, half of this almond paste. Now almond paste can come in tubes, it can come in a little bucket, but most often it's found in tubes in your baking aisle. So break that up and put that in there. And put in all of your sugar. You're gonna notice my sugar here, my granulated sugar, is not pure white, and that's because this is an organic white sugar, an organic evaporated cane juice, not white sugar. We're gonna start with that, reserving our confectioner's sugar. Put that in your food processor and just hit the button. Now that we're starting to get that blended, we're gonna add all of our confectioner's sugar. And the rest of our almond paste. Put your lid back on, make sure it's on tight, and away we go. Once your batter is completely blended, you want to get a cookie sheet and line it with tin foil, and then very, very, very lightly spray it with cooking spray. Again, I don't often use cooking spray, but in this particular situation you need it because these guys can get really, really sticky. So you're going to scoop up a little bit, roll it into a ball, and if you've seen any of the other videos, particularly the arancini, you'll know how much I love little balls. So take the little ball and dip it in the nuts, the Pignoli nuts, I don't know what you were thinking, and just place that right on your cookie sheet. Now what's important here is that you make sure that your cookies, your Pignoli, are separated enough because they will grow or spread quite a bit when you put them in the oven. So here we go with our great little Pignoli cookies. We're gonna put them right in the oven. Now that oven is heated to 325 and these are gonna bake about 10 to 15 minutes just until they're lightly golden brown. So let's put these in the oven and make some mealtime magic. Okay, the Pignoli's in the oven, about 15 minutes in there till they're golden brown. And then we'll let them cool about 5 minutes before we stuff them with cannoli cream. While they're baking, let's make that delicious chocolate cinnamon cannoli cream for the filling. To make the chocolate cinnamon cannoli cream filling for your Pignoli sandwich cookies, you will need 1 cup ricotta cheese, preferably whole milk, 1.5 cups confectioner's sugar, 1/4 cup chocolate chips, mini chips are preferred, and 2 tablespoons of chocolate cinnamon dessert dip. So most people think cannoli cream is really difficult to make, but really it's only 2 ingredients, ricotta cheese and confectioner's sugar. Some people like to add a little mascarpone cheese. If you like a creamier filling, feel free to use that, but I'm gonna use a whole milk ricotta today. You're really gonna take your ricotta cheese and your confectioner's sugar, and you're simply going to mix it together. I know, this is a hard one. Might be a little messy, as you start it going, but it'll be worth it. My husband and I were at a wedding once, and someone came over and asked if we'd like a cannoli. I doesn't particularly care for cannoli. So he said no, and I was like, what are you doing? I want the cannoli. When someone asks you if you want a cannoli, you say yes. There's never downtime when it comes to cannoli eating. However, if you're like me and you have a gluten allergy, which sucks, you have a hard time finding cannoli. So here in this recipe, you're going to have your cannoli fix and a delicious cookie. So you'll see as I'm stirring this, you see the consistency changing and it gets nice and creamy. Now that we've got that all nice and creamy, we're gonna add our chocolate cinnamon dessert dip, about 2 tablespoons of that. And you know me, I just eyeball it and hope that I'm right. But you should measure it. Again, be gentle when you're stirring. You'll notice that I'm kind of getting it all over the place, but who cares? You clean up the counter, right? Adding our chocolate chips. Going into a little bit of sugar shock. Not recommended for diabetics. So what you want to make sure you do with this is, because you notice how runny it is, you want to make sure you chill it for at least an hour before you fill your cookies. So I'm just going to pop this in the fridge. When our cookies are done and this has cooled, we'll be ready to fill our cookies. So our Pignoli cookies are finished. They've cooled. They look beautiful, a nice golden brown color. So we're just going to slide them right off. We've got our cannoli cream that's been setting for a little while. And if you want to be fancy, you can put this in a pastry sleeve. I just tend to scoop it on. Stick that right on there. 1 dollop will do ya. Find a similarly sized cookie and voila. Now I think these are best when they're a little chilled, but if you like them like this room temperature, that's fine. So there you have it, beautiful Pignoli cookies stuffed with chocolate cinnamon cannoli cream. Thank you so much for spending some of your holiday time with me, Dawn the Kitchen Witch from Cucina Aurora. Happy holidays and enjoy.